Has this ever happened to you? Hey, how's it going?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh my god, are you alright? What's wrong? What
Uh,
happened? Isn't it your birthday? Shouldn't you be happy? Did your partner break up with you? Is everything okay?
Seems a bit ridiculous now, doesn't it? But have you ever thought, hey, do I ever judge my own emotions? Let's talk about that.
It's pronounced hallucination.
Over the last week, I've been thinking a lot about emotions and judgment and how I can stop judging myself and my emotions. I know my last few videos have already been talking about, it's okay to feel things. There are no shoulds. But let me tell you, it is much easier said than done. Over the weekend, I was away on a road trip with my friends, and over the course of the road trip, there were a few moments where I had conversations with my good friend Mel, thank you, who challenged me and called me out when I started to ask these questions. And basically, what she would say is, "You're judging me." And every time she said that, I felt extremely hurt. When we feel hurt by someone else's comments, that is an indication that that is something about us that we are not okay with. And for me, I have been trying really hard to stop judging people. So when I'm being called out on judging someone, I'm like, ah! And it stings, right? Like it's like if you did not believe that you're a judgmental person, someone says you're judging me, then who cares? It doesn't matter. If you did not believe that you look bad and someone says you look bad, then it's like, well, I look good, thank you very much. Like, I don't give a shit about your opinion. But if it is something that you do feel insecure about or you're not completely comfortable with about yourself, then that is when comments by other people can really hurt us. Over the course of the weekend, I had a lot of questions pop up, such as, am I being judgmental? Or does my friend have a right to call me out like that? Like, I don't know, like, yo, I'm not trying to judge you here. That's not my intention. But after some reflection, I realized, whoa, hold up. I'm asking all of these questions without actually taking the time to understand and to accept the stories that my friend is sharing about herself. And I've been asking these questions like, why do you think this? Or do you think that there could be another way of thinking about this? In a sense that I'm trying to almost challenge her beliefs and her stories without validating her emotions. And when I came to that realization, I was like, holy shit, I'm being judgmental. Even though I know I'm trying really, really, really hard not to be. What eventually happened is I went up and apologized, and I was like, hey, I realized I have been judgmental because I haven't been listening and I haven't been hearing your stories and I haven't been very validating of your own experiences, and your experiences are okay and what you believe is okay. The biggest lesson that she taught me is that in order to stop judging, you need to be okay with judging. And oh my god, I was mind blown. Now let's break that down. In order to stop judging, we need to be okay with judging. Judging is when we make a judgment of something and create meaning out of an action or a statement or whatever it might be. Whether it's a good judgment or a bad judgment, either way, it is a judgment. When I say judging, I'm generally talking about negative judgments because as a human, I tend to lean towards the negative and notice the negative things, and it is the negative judgment that I struggle with. In the example before, like in the intro, you saw someone being like, hey, why are you not happy? Like, you should be happy. And that's judgment in the sense that we presuppose or assume what someone else should be feeling or would be feeling, rather than acknowledging how they are feeling. And what I mean when I say by it's okay to judge is that judgment is natural. It is what our brain does. When we think, we judge. That is how it works. So when I blame myself for judging someone, then I am judging myself for judging. And the only way to stop doing that is to be okay with judging. Wild, I know, it's a whole circle. I'm still processing. But hey, we're here, we're learning together, and we are all going to grow as human beings. And we're going to continue to fail and make mistakes, and all of that is okay. I was reading a book the other day that summarized this perfectly. This is The Dance of Anger by Harriet Lerner. Thank you, Sharon, for the birthday gift. I appreciate it. And like 3 pages into this book, I read this paragraph and it was mind blowing and it summarized this up so perfectly. So here it goes. We too learn to fear our own anger, not only because it brings about the disapproval of others, but also because it signals the necessity for change. This is about anger, but I think it's relevant to all emotions. So we may begin to ask ourselves questions that serve to block or invalidate our experience of anger. Is my anger legitimate? Do I have a right to be angry? What's the use of my getting angry? What good will it do? These questions can be excellent ways of silencing ourselves and shutting off our anger. So I might not be talking about anger in this situation, but hey, whether it's sadness, whether it's happiness, whether it's disappointment, whether it's frustration, I know that I question my emotions a lot, and if you're like me, you may too. So, Harriet Lerner then goes on to elaborate and says, let us question these questions. And this is the mind-blowing part. Anger is neither legitimate nor illegitimate, meaningful or pointless. Anger simply is. To ask, is my anger legitimate, is similar to asking, do I have a right to be thirsty? After all, I just had a glass of water 15 minutes ago. Surely my thirst is not legitimate. And besides, what's the point of getting thirsty when I can't get anything to drink anyway? This is on page 4 of this book, by the way. Holy crap, I'm only like 6 pages in. But anger is something we feel. It exists for a reason and always deserves our respect and attention. We all have a right to everything we feel, and certainly our anger is no exception. Here's where this video comes in. I want to challenge myself and you to a 30-day mindfulness challenge. What do I mean by a mindfulness challenge? Let's break it down. Recently, I've started to think of mindfulness as a way of bringing the mind in balance with the rest of the body. So what that essentially means is when we feel very stuck up in our heads, mindfulness is a way to bring ourselves out of our heads and into our bodies to be able to feel our senses. What can we see? What can we hear? What can we feel? What can we taste? And bringing us back into the present moment by observing without judgment. So part 1 of mindfulness is the observation and the tuning into our senses in the present, and part 2 is observing without judgment. This is a passive observation. It means that we don't need to change anything. We are just noticing how we feel, how we are, and letting that be okay. And that is also another great way to bring yourself into the present moment and to really experience life in the moment. Oh heck, this is falling down. And that's okay. What I would like to challenge you to do is to practice saying it's okay and practice noticing things and just noticing them and being like, this is how it is. This is. In this moment, this is. Accepting that where you are at is okay. That is what I would like you to try to do for the next 30 days. So from now, 30th of January to the end of February, join me every day and observe something about your day. I want you to think about one moment that you've taken yourself to the present and observed without judgment, and write it down. My observation from today was that I was scrolling on my phone, I noticed it, and then I made the decision, hey, I'm gonna not scroll on my phone, I'm gonna do something else instead. And by bringing yourself to a place of acceptance, you can then start to make the decisions that you want to make and do those things without hating on yourself for the actions that have already occurred. Everything you feel is legitimate and it's okay and you are valid, alright? This is something I need to tell myself a lot, but I'm getting there and we're all learning together. So join me on this 30-day journey and let's be mindful for the next 30 days and write it down. I'm going to try my best to stream as much as I can over these next 30 days so that we can check in on each other. So if you want, come join me on Twitch at twitch.tv/hallucination and we can all discuss our learnings together and how we are feeling throughout the month. And at the end of the month, we'll see how we've gone. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for commenting, liking, sharing. Thank you for joining me on this journey as we grow to become more accepting people and learn to embrace our humanity. Until next time, next week, I'll see you then. Bye!